Hello and welcome back to another character creation video. My name is Lumin and today we're having a look at BitCraft, Age of Automata. BitCraft is a massively multiplayer community sandbox game where players work together to build a new civilization in a single editable wilderness with an ancient past. BitCraft's gameplay emphasizes skill in building, crafting, farming, trading, and exploring, empowering players to cultivate a sheltered village with their friends or establish impressive cities and empires. I love the idea of it. I love the idea of it being a more chill experience, less about the combat, the PvP, the war in the world, and more about rebuilding. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cozy, you know? If you'd like to do a deep dive to discover all there is to discover about this game, you can find some links below. And as always, there will be timestamps. Use them, find what you're looking for, and leave satisfied. Now, as you jump in here, you are presented with your character, an automata, a blank slate. I love the idea of it, because this world that we're jumping into has an ancient past. We are being reborn here as an automata, and as far as I understand, civilization, perhaps I should say human civilization, is long gone. But there are bits and pieces of it left for us to discover. And what's kind of cool is they sort of built that all into the character customization in this game, where you start as this blank slate, but then you can add to it in any way you like. You have a decent selection when you first jump in. I'm not sure if this is going to change, because we're still early days right now, and for early days, there's a good amount. So, again, you jump in, you have this character, nothing on it. But then you can open the vault. They very soon after you start tell you how to do this. And in the vault, there's a bunch of cool customization stuff. We're going to go through all of it. We're going to look what's available and look how we can actually customize and change our appearance. And I, again, just really love the idea of these automata playing dress up like humans. I don't know, something about it is just really appealing. So your first choice here is body color. You get to change the actual color of the automata's body. There are a few reasonably cool choices here. And I think it's like, it's more than enough. I can't really say, you know, hey, yeah, this is kind of grounded in reality, and for an automata, yeah, these are realistic skin tone. No. They can do anything they want here, and, you know, I wouldn't be able to say, yeah, that makes sense or that doesn't. And that's kind of what's awesome about this. So I expect in the future for there to be a whole lot more, and basically a huge amount of variety where everything is concerned, because they are not limited by feeble meat sacks, you know? You can sort of do what you want with it. But in terms of the options, there's a really nice dark one, there's a really nice bright one, and then there's a lot in between. So for the purposes of the video, I'll take the light gray body over here, and yeah, we'll move on. For masks, there's nothing at the moment. You just have a plain mask, but you can see that there is obviously going to be stuff in the future that you can change, which is kind of cool. Again, the idea of just putting a mask on, changing the way your face looks, is kind of sick. And here we have some patterns. They are actually just, they're called mask pattern. It's actually just the eye color. And to be honest, it's probably one of the most impactful choices you can make, along with the body color. They have nice bright colors here. It's not just like the whole selection. They don't have everything, but they have the basics. You know, I would always say if they can put a red, green, and a blue in there, that's great. And then if they can throw the pink in there too, you know, you're making most people happy. You throw the yellow in and boom, you know, you gaming. So I feel like it's a good selection for now. It's sort of more than enough. And with the combinations available, you know, the darker body tones, it's like you can sort of already make some pretty interesting choices here. If you go for like a darker body and like the red eyes, you're looking slightly more sinister. And I kind of dig that. You know, you've already got options, which is good. Then, what is probably the biggest choice that you can make here, biggest in terms of the amount of options available, is the hair. Now, we're going to look at all the hairstyles quickly. I will turn the camera a little bit, and then we're going to look at the colors that are available for those. So, I kind of like the style that they went for with the hair. You know, it's always a tough one for devs to decide. You know, do you go with something that is sort of trying to look realistic? Do you go with something that's trying to look like straight up cartoony? Do you add a lot of detail to it, potentially making it look tacky in the process? Or do you go with something simple yet satisfying? It's one of the hardest things, I think, here in video games. It's one of the hardest things to nail down. And I mean, the style that they went with here, I'm going to say something that's a little sort of like random, but it actually feels a lot like Temtem to me with the models that they have in here. Temtem had a similar system with their hair where it was very neat and tidy, very together. All their hairstyles felt quite nicely sculpted. They weren't like individual strands or anything like that, but the smooth textures that they used looked appealing nonetheless. They have already got more interesting hairstyles than Temtem, so that's a thumbs up. Although Temtem did add a bunch extra that you could get sort of from stores in the game, and I do believe that this game is going to have a whole lot of stuff that you can get after this, which is sick. Are there enough hairstyles? Absolutely. There are enough short ones, there are enough long ones. You can obviously also go sort of bald on this because you are an automata. You can sort of, you can rock that and not look weird. But big fan. I like what they went with. I particularly like this one, obviously. And I think it works. Yeah. Again, I'm so taken by the idea of these guys playing dress up, It's just so cool, because you're like coming into this world that is sort of, it's an echo of what it was in the past, and you know nothing. But then you come here and you emulate the worst possible thing, the goddamn humans. It's great. It's great. It's great. Yeah, it's great. It's great. We could have been anything. Why didn't we come back as dogs? Anyway, the hair colors. Once again, I'm a big fan of the fact that they have the body color combinations with the eyes and then the hair, like all those will like sort of work together quite nicely to give us something aesthetically pleasing. What was kind of weird to me when I jumped in here was, once again, that we are emulating the humans. Maybe there's some little bit, like a little trace of humanity left in the automata, and that's why they chose this, because they went for these colors that are very much grounded in reality. You got the grays, you got the ginger here. They call it ginger. I think it's more of a brown. Well, it's like most of the way there. You got the darker colors, and then you got the lighter browns, the like dusty browns and stuff. But again, it's like very human colors, and it fascinates me to no end. The lore is just fantastic. So when you're done there are heads, like there's hoods, there's hats, stuff like that. I assume there's more to get, right? I assume that there is more in the game that you can craft, unlock, and equip. And this is still like the first public test that they have for this. It's a closed alpha right now. They are really still working on this, and I love that they're willing to show it off, because again, they've got some good stuff to show off here. So this is the start of the cosmetic stuff here, basically. There's some cool choices. Here's a dress. Then you got a shirt, a vest, a long sleeve, and short sleeve. It's kind of nice. Let's take the short sleeve that we have on here right now. Then we'll move on to the belts. Currently, there's only one belt. That looks kind of... No. We'll put this one on rather. There we go. And then there are pants. These are not just pants, obviously. There's skirts and stuff here as well. There's the long pants. And again, here we are, an automata pretending to be human. I don't know why, but I love it. I just love the idea. And we're probably going to build like massive cities and castles and empires, once again emulating the damn humans. Why couldn't we be rid of them forever? So yeah, some nice choices. Decent looking choices. Kind of fun. Let's go with that one that we have on right now. Now, I can't really show you the feet. Like, it's sort of like it's like they're down there, okay? They're down, like, just believe me when I say they're down there. You can see it's like little sandals, right? Little sandals. There's no gloves yet, as you can see. And then finally, there's no titles. This is your title. And you always see your name visible above your head as well. So it's kind of cool. It's going to be an impactful one to do. And that actually brings us to the end. That's all the options available here. I want to, right now, just show you some of the stuff that you can actually do. So if we like flip this over right now as an extra, and we say, let's go for the darkest skin tone, then let's go for that red that we had, right? And then let's switch the hair up, and let's make it look a little more intimidating, right? And then we make it a little lighter in color, and suddenly you are left with something that looks completely different. Yeah. And with the amount of combinations that you can go with here, again, I mean, this here is not really, I wouldn't call this intimidating, okay? But with the amount of combinations here, I think that there is a lot of potential for making some fun and interesting characters. You could make the high contrast like I have here, or you can go with low contrast, which to be honest can also look kind of fantastic. And then you throw eyes in there that sort of gel with it, something like that maybe. It's kind of fun. The combinations that are available right now are cool. You can do interesting stuff with them. I will say, however, that this is very much, as you can tell, and as I've said a few times, a work in progress. And you're probably going to want to check back here when the game nears release, because there's probably going to be a whole lot of extra stuff in it. Now, on that note, I did sift through all the footage on their YouTube channel and on their website and everywhere else that I could find, and I saw that there is a whole lot more that we cannot see here right now, that's not accessible or available yet. Things like the masks or the face shapes that they have. You can sort of transform your character into something that looks slightly less humanoid by putting horns on or cool ears or other extras on the face. There's also markings that I feel look really cool, like glowing tattoos, you could call them. Then obviously there's a lot of cool cosmetics that you can see just all over the show. So I think there's a huge amount of potential. I like it. And as we transition here into the outro, I'm just going to say that I think what they've got going here is a fantastic starting point. And I love the idea of the Automata. I love the idea of being unchained like that, unrestrained. You can do anything you want with it, and it won't be weird or crazy or wacky. And I think that players will accept things way easier and more willingly just because of that. You know, you're not constrained by races, by the humans, by what is realistically possible. You can do whatever. And again, it opens a lot of options for what they could do in-game with stuff you can make and craft. And if the game itself is focused on all the things they said it's focused on, you know, building, crafting, farming, trading, exploring, then it means that they can easily set up an in-game economy with items that pertain to your character's cosmetic options. You know, you can make dyes, perhaps. You can make different outfits and stuff like that. You can make different masks, and you can maybe specialize in those things. It's basically a dream come true in terms of like MMO gameplay, where you can have all of this stuff be useful. You can have all the players chasing all these different options to make them available to people, to sell them, to make their mark on the world. It's sick. You know, again, the idea of all of it is amazing. It's just now that these guys making it, they have to capitalize. That's all that's left. They have to capitalize. So they have to actually jump in here and get all the options in. They have to jump in here and basically do everything that players sort of dream about. And then, hey, they'll be left with a win. So yeah, Clockwork Labs, those are the guys who make this game. I am a big fan of what you guys have shown off so far. I dig it, and I'm very keen to see what you do in the future with this system, because, yeah, man, it's cool. It's cool. It's very appealing. So, hey, there we go. I had fun looking at all the options here. I hope you guys had some fun joining me for it. Check back here soon for an updated look at BitCraft, because I will definitely be doing that. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Give this video a like and share it and do all that other good stuff. If you haven't already, you can find my links below, my coffee page, and obviously my Twitch channel. You can throw money at me there if you'd like. And yeah, subscribe if you haven't already. I'm done. If you guys are jumping in to play this game, enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. I'll see you all soon. Happy that.